Welcome to UK Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yukai Kechidori.
Awesome. Welcome, guys, to another very special episode. Guys, listen, I never cease to be amazed at the guests that we get to interview on our show. And today is another special, one of those special interviews I get to do. I'm talking to a gentleman from Syria who has come from a very troubled country, migrated to Armenia, and created a name for himself. And the gentleman I have on the show is Mano Guiragossian. Did I get that right, Mano?
Yes, thank you for having me.
So great to have you on the show. You know, when I go to your profile and see the things you've done since you migrated from Syria, truly outstanding. Now, for those listening to this, or coming across you for the first time, tell us about yourself and your journey into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Mano Guiragossian. I'm the founder of Guiragossian Media. It's a marketing agency where we help businesses and especially e-commerce businesses to generate more leads, do more sales, utilizing the power of Facebook advertising and content and email marketing and any other digital marketing strategies as well. And currently, we are launching the 8 weeks content and personal branding program where we will help people to build their personal brands through content and generate positive mentions, learn how to produce and distribute content in the right way to do more sales through social media. I'm also the host of the Perspective podcast, where I interview young and successful entrepreneurs such as multi-million-dollar business owners, best-selling authors, and people who work with world-class athletes and celebrities. Yeah, so basically that's about me.
Yes. One of your major accomplishments is last year you started working with Team V, Gary V's team, helping him establish a YouTube from zero to over 80,000 subscribers in less than a year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so when I started my career, like back into 2017, as the same way as other marketers, when they search about marketing on the internet, the first guy they find out is Gary Vee, and I found him. And before that, I know him actually, but in 2017, I started following him, following all his content and what he's talking about. And when I learned a lot from him, and he changed the way I think about life, or in business, the way I think about business. That's why I wanted to do something for him. And when I learned, when I had enough experience in marketing, I wanted to do something for him. And when I did my research, I found out that he has Arabic channel, Spanish channel, and Portuguese channel. He has channels in different languages to expand his presence in the other regions as well. So as I was born in Syria, Arabic was my native language. So combining these two things, like my experience in marketing and being Arabic my native language, I knew that I can provide value to him with something. That's why I decided to reach out to the team and see if we can work together on something. And yeah, basically they responded to me, and we did the meeting, and yeah, we started immediately working together. It was September 2019. So it's been 1 year that I'm working with them. And we started working on the channel. We did a huge job, not just me, the team as well. We worked together on everything. So we managed to grow the channel from, I think it wasn't zero, but it was 1,000 subscribers or something like that to 80,000 subscribers in 1 year. And also we have over 25 million impressions on the channel. And that's a huge expand in the Arabic region. So yeah, basically it's been it wasn't easy, but it's been a great journey. The process was very fun, and we learned a lot during the process.
Incredible. I'm excited about having you today because we're going to talk about the strategies that you use to grow a channel from just 1,000 to over 70,000 subscribers today. But before we talk about that, Mano, you have an interesting journey in becoming an entrepreneur. You were in Syria, and there was a lot of things happening. Then you migrated
Yeah.
to Armenia, and there you wanted to start a business at a shoestring budget. Talk to us about how you go about learning the skills that you now have and into working on the business.
Yeah. So, basically, since my childhood, I hated to work for someone. Not just workforce. I hate like being, for example, let's say even in school, I hate this like being in system. I like to be in freedom. I like to do what I want to go out whenever I want to go out. And if I like something, I do it, like I fully do that, and I enjoy it. But if I hate something, I can't do it. Even though I have to do that, I can't do it. So that's why I tried. When I immigrated to my first job was in Armenia. When I immigrated to Armenia, so I even started working as a waiter. I worked in a cafe, and I used to hate that because I hate like being on time or this stuff. Not because like I don't like to be responsible, but I hated the job that I do. That's why I didn't like it. So then I decided to do something for myself, and I started like to go and do some research on the internet. And the reason I chose into the internet as a way, because I'm an introvert person, so I don't like to go out and I don't know, chat with people and this stuff. That's why I chose the internet as a way to share my thoughts, to share my opinions, because it's behind the screen, and it's a better option for introverts, let's say. So that's why I chose the internet as a way like to see what can I do. And when I started doing some researches and stuff, as I didn't have much money, I noticed that social media is a great opportunity for me, because you can start your business at low or even no cost as well. You can just open few pages on social media platforms, and boom, now you can already start your business and sell stuff, I don't know, interview people, and do anything you want. And when at that time, when I started even diving deeper in Gary's content, I noticed, like, I realized the power of content and what can it do for you. And at the same time, I was working in another company, and I went applied for an internship in one of the companies in Armenia to learn marketing from them. I worked there for free for 6 months just to learn the basics. And from the first day I entered there, I knew that I will leave after few months or years. It's just a matter of time to learn what's going on the internet world, and then I will leave. That's why I went there. Basically, my end goal was to start my business. I just went there to learn, to see how people work, how companies work, how the team work together. And yeah, once I learned everything, actually I had huge results there. So that's why they rapidly excelled me to the head of marketing in the same company. And I started leading a team of 10 people, and more than 10 people. I led the marketing team. And yeah, once I had enough experience there, I decided to start my own marketing agency, which was my end goal. And I started collaborating with different companies around the world, different startups, different e-commerce businesses. And in a matter of 1 and 2 years, I managed to do over $1 million in sales for these companies together. And I have even businesses where I managed to get them a huge amount of leads at low cost, and they do, they had a huge success because of my campaigns. So yeah, in 2019 I started working with Team Gary Vee, and that was a huge opportunity for me to have an experience on YouTube as well. So I started learning YouTube and how can I use YouTube to distribute content, produce content. And again, I had a huge success there working with the team. And I launched my show at the end of 2019, my podcast. So basically, my goal from that is not to monetize it. It's just to share my voice with the world and interview some experts in different industries and share their voice with the world. Because, I want, especially the young generation, to see the huge opportunities and possibilities in today's world. Because I was in a place where I didn't have much. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck, and I didn't know how to do it. And I spent a lot of time, budget, money, effort to learn how can I do things, or what can I do as well. So that's why now I want to share that with the world as well. I want to teach people about that so they can do the same as well.
Outstanding. What I love about your story is anyone can do exactly what you did and get the same results. Like, for example, if you want to learn a new skill, go volunteer and work with somebody who has proven track record, and you
Yes.
learn those skills and then pay it forward. It's that simple. And there's a lot of companies that are prepared to do that. Now, let's dive deep into YouTube because that's where you've got a lot of success. And let's help people who want to generate traffic to their YouTube or raise the number of subscribers into their YouTube. Now, first of all, why YouTube and not anything?
Yeah, so it's not just YouTube, but YouTube is one of the channels that I prefer over other channels. But I also like LinkedIn. I also like Facebook, Instagram. For example, for me, I use YouTube to distribute a long form piece of content. I use Facebook to do sales for the brands I work with, and I use LinkedIn to drive leads and clients for me, for my business. So basically I need all these platforms to be able to run my business. So it's not just YouTube, but YouTube is one of the platforms I recommend people to use, and for different reasons. One of them is that it's the second largest search engine after Google. So there are millions of people every day searching on content on YouTube. So if your content is good enough, the chances are high that you will get organic traffic. YouTube will start suggesting your content to people. So you just have to like produce the content and publish it there. Then it will do the distribution job for you. Also, there are some paid ads as well. But even though if you don't use them, for example, for Gary's channel, we didn't run any paid ads for him. We did everything organically. We just used to post consistent content weekly, 2 videos weekly, but the key is to provide high value content. So no one can disagree that Gary's content is good or not, but we all know that he provides the highest value content in the market. That's why it worked for him. So for other people as well, if they want to succeed on YouTube, they want to provide value through their content. You don't, for example, one of the mistakes I see on different channels, people launch their channel, and after a few days they try to sell something, they try to monetize their audience. That's why they fail. So that's not the key. You have to at least provide value for a certain period of time to teach people about you, your story, what you do, make them enjoy. For example, people consume content on the internet for two reasons. One of them is entertainment, so they will be entertained, and the other reason is education, to learn something. If you use to combine both these two in one piece of content, you will win. So you have to combine these two in one piece of content. If you see Gary's content, it's all about education. He teaches people something, but at the same time it's entertaining. That's why he wins. But for other people, when you try to sell something on it won't work from the first day. When you build your audience, you have already credibility and authority in the market, you can monetize your audience for sure, and that's the end goal. But in the beginning, you have just to provide value. And if you would like to talk on some technical stuff, for example, to get more reach on YouTube, so the key to get more reach on YouTube is to make people stay on YouTube. So if you make people stay on YouTube, YouTube will reward you, which means if you have, for example, a piece of content and you publish it on YouTube, you have to focus on two things. One of them is to make it entertaining, to make entertaining titles and thumbnails for it, so people click on it. When people click on it and you get higher CTR, YouTube will understand that your content is interesting and they will start pushing it for more people. But at the same time, you have to have a high watch times. For example, if people are clicking on your video because you use the clickbait and then they are not watching it, it won't work, because again, YouTube's algorithm is so smart and it will understand that you use the clickbait to drive traffic to your video to get people's attention, but the quality of the content is not good enough. That's why people are leaving it, they are not watching it. So you have to focus on having a high watch time as well. You have to keep the balance between high CTR and high watch time. That's the standard, and that's the first key you have to do to succeed on YouTube. Then if you want to dive deeper, to go more advanced, you can like
Mano, before we go into the second one, in your opinion, for the very first one, you talked about the thumbnail, and that the entertainment. Give us example of those things. What you've seen works very well.
So for thumbnails, what we have seen is that you have to use big pictures. For example, you use your own picture. You can add it in the half of the thumbnail, and the other half can be a text with an interesting title. But you don't have to add too much text on the thumbnail. You just like, you can keep it like 10-20% of the photo and not more. And also one thing that works, if you use some like funny images. For example, if you are adding your image, for example, on the thumbnail, don't just add your normal image where you are sitting somewhere, or you are I don't know, if you are standing out like normally. You can add something like funny. For example, when you are having an reaction in the video, for example, you are scared or you are surprised. These reactions work well on YouTube, because when you open YouTube, there are too many thumbnails when you are scrolling, and you want something to stand out to grab your attention, so you click on it. So that's why you need to interrupt people. Social media is all about interruption. You have thousands of posts on social media. When you scroll your feed, even though on YouTube the same, when you scroll your feed, there are thousands of images, videos, and etc. So you want something to stand out, to grab your attention, and you click on it.
Awesome, amazing. And with regards to the watch time, on average, how long should the video be?
Yeah. So the average of like mid channels are like 15 to 20% the accomplish rate of the videos. So if you manage to get like 20% of your videos watched, or 25% completion rate of your videos, it's great. If you can manage to get more, it's even better. But at least you have to strive for the minimum, which is like 20%. If you have, for example, 10 minutes video, you have to make at least people watch 2 minutes of it. So like the algorithm understands that at least it's interesting, or they are keep watching it. And to increase your watch time, for example, because I have some clients that have educational videos, and educational videos are a little bit more boring, because you are just sitting and talking about it, so people will not watch it till the end. So that's why we use, for example, a low volume music under the videos. For example, we use some animations, or we add some b-rolls during the video, so the viewer will have some fun watching it and enjoy it, and it will be like the process will be smooth to them, so they continue watching it.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's move on to the next concept that you wanted to mention to help our audience with.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about something else, which is, so YouTube treats their platform as the next TV. So you have to consider YouTube as TV. You have a channel on YouTube, which means you have a channel on the television. So, and your content is your TV show. So if you create different playlists, all these playlists are your shows. So you can have different shows on your channel. You can create different playlists, and you have to keep the consistency for each show. For example, let's say you have two shows. One of them is your podcast, and the other one is, for example, you teaching about marketing. You can create two different playlists for these different shows, and post the content on each show consistently on the same day, on the same time each week. For example, if you are posting each Friday at 6 p.m., the marketing show, you have to keep it on that time. And if you are posting the podcast, for example, Monday, you have to keep it on Monday, 4 p.m., let's say. And you have to keep this consistency. Why? Because when you keep the consistency, people understand, your audience will understand that the show will come out on that day and on that time. So they will enter YouTube on that time to watch your show, or they will even subscribe to receive the notifications, so they enter and watch. And when they do that, YouTube's algorithm learn who from your audience watches the first show and who watches the second show. So when you post the content on the same time, it will not for example, if you post your podcast, it will not recommend it to people who watch your marketing content and not watch podcast. And if you do if you post the marketing content, it does the same. It will recommend it to people who watches your marketing content but don't watch the podcast, so they won't recommend the wrong content to wrong people. And doing this, you will have higher click-through rates, which we talked about in the first step. You need to have higher click-through rates, and you will have higher watch time, because people who are watching your content, you know that they already are interested in that content. So YouTube, basically, all you have to do is to keep the consistency, and YouTube is doing the rest of the work for you. And one other thing is that if people are watching your video, and when they finish, if they go and watch one of your other videos, for example, they keep moving in your channel from one video to the other one, that's again a great indication, that's a great for example, information for YouTube to understand that your show is interesting, your content is interesting, and they will start suggesting it to more people.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Talking of playlist that you mentioned there, do you have any recommendation of how long the video ought to be, or
yeah, so one of actually, at the end, it depends on the content. That's sure. For example, if your content is good and it's 30 minutes, it will do well. If your content is good and it's 1 minute video, again, it will do well. But if your content, for example, is not good, even though you do it 1 hour, I don't know, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 3 minutes, it won't do well. So basically, the first thing is, the standard rule is to keep the quality of content. And the second thing is that, for example, if you are looking to monetize your channel, so what's recommended is videos that are more than 10 minutes. So you can use all your options because there are 3 options to monetize your video. There are pre-video ads, mid ads that appear in the middle of the video, and ads that appear at the end of the video. So if you want to use all of these options to monetize your video, it has to be more than 10 minutes. So as per my experience, the best performing videos are the ones that are above 5 minutes, and the ones that are not longer than 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's very interesting. One of the reasons I'm asking is we have just recently launched our YouTube channel for Yokai Business Show, and we've done over 250 podcasts, and we want to upload all those podcasts on YouTube. And what would be your recommendation that we do? Because some of it we've got only audio, especially those that we did in 2017.
Yeah, for example, there's a way to succeed on YouTube as a podcast, but if you did some research, you already know that few people have like podcasting content on YouTube, and they have a huge base of followers. So at the end, it depends on your goals. What are your goals? If it's just to reach more people, then you have to go on YouTube, because even though if you reach 100 people more than if you reach 100 unique people, for example, to know your show, and your goal is to reach more people, then it works for you. If you are looking, for example, to sell something, monetizing your podcast, you have to focus on different aspects. For example, you have to focus on doing shorter videos to reach more people and get more awareness to your brand, and to be able to monetize your traffic. For example, if you are looking just to get it on YouTube as a way, like, for example, let's say to grow a huge audience base, it will be harder to use that utilizing the power of podcasting. I recommend you to do some other videos, for example, because people open YouTube, as I said, to educate themselves or to be entertained. So if you check the videos of podcasting, all of them are like the same way we are doing now. Two people are sitting and talking to each other. It's not interesting for them, so the watch times will be lower. For example, I think I have two episodes of podcast published there, and the watch time is lower comparing to other videos because people get bored immediately. So I recommend you to not just publish the voice. If you have a video, like you are sitting with someone, it would be better, so at least they have something to watch on YouTube. You can use some, for example, b-rolls, animations during the show, for example, to pop up on the screen. That would help to keep people like entertained. If you have some long form pieces of content, you can divide them, for example, into shorter parts. For example, if you have a 1 hour show, you can divide it into 10-minute videos. And for example, if you check Joe Rogan's channel, he has a channel where he publishes his long form pieces of content or his full interviews, and he has another channel where he publishes just 1 minute to 5-minute videos, short clips, so he gets more attention from people. So yeah, basically that's it. It's a little bit hard to like build an audience using podcast content on YouTube, but there's a way to do it.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Well, we're coming towards the end of our time together here, Mano. For those who wants to learn further with you, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm available on all social media channels. They can find me on LinkedIn. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn. It's Mano Guiragossian, ManoGuiragossian. My name is spelled like that. If someone needs any marketing consultancy services, they can reach me on my agency's website, which is guiragossianmedia.com. And yeah, that's it. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else. I also check my DMs and I always reply to all my messages. So if you have any questions, if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, final thoughts to business owners who are looking to use YouTube that you would like to leave them with. Maybe the mistakes that people do, how to avoid them, or anything that you feel needs to know.
Yeah. So the first advice is to use YouTube to produce content, because most of business owners are busy because they are running their business and they don't have much time to produce content to build their personal brand. And not just on YouTube, on social media overall. If you notice, like business owners, they don't do much content producing because they don't have time. Now it's trending, like many people are doing it, but still there are some percentage of people that are not producing content. So I highly recommend to produce content because it builds your personal brand, which will lead you to grow your business. At the same time, it will lead you to grow personally, have a bigger audience, because when you promote, for example, if you promote a certain business and you launch another business, you have to spend the same marketing budget on promoting that business as well. But when you promote yourself, no matter how many businesses you launch, people will identify those businesses with your personal brand and it will promote them like automatically. So yeah, if you decide to produce content on YouTube, I highly recommend you to try like combining both entertaining and educational content in one piece of content, and keep the consistency. You don't have to publish every day, but if you are publishing once a week, at least keep it once a week. Yeah, you don't have to use professional, I don't know, cameras and this stuff. You can just take your phone and keep it simple, authentic. And one of my best performing pieces of content on other social media, for example on LinkedIn or on Instagram, are my content that I shoot it like doing a selfie with a video, talking with the audience. And the ones that I produce them professionally don't work as well as the other one, because the one that you do it without a professional kit like feels authentic to the audience. They will be able to connect with you. So you can do both. You can keep it professional as well, but at the same time, don't try to make it so, I don't know, don't try to edit it too much or this stuff. Keep it simple, keep it like authentic.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Well, Mano, it's been absolute joy to have you on the show, and we certainly wish you the very best in your next endeavor. I hope you, as a business owner, you gotten a lot of value from our conversation here today. And again, as always, if you've got
Sure.
any questions, please reach out in the group, on the LinkedIn group, or just DM me directly on LinkedIn, because that's where I am usually very active. Mano, thanks again for being here with me.
Thank you too. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day, and I look forward to catching up with you on another very special episode. And take care. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Yukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.